Alrighty, so it has been a few months, 2 months I think, because we did one in June, but we're going to update the old tier list. I absolutely hate doing these just for the main fact that for some reason it doesn't save this, so I have to go back through and re-enter all of these characters into the tier list, and it's just very time consuming. But either way, there's not too many characters we have to add, but we have, what is it? Seven characters to add. We're going to add characters first. I'm probably going to go through and try to just move a couple of characters here or there maybe. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I need to do. I'm not positive if the last tier list that we did had raid tier in it or not, but I have eliminated raid tier. I think it did have raid tier, so I've gotten rid of that. It was below F. It was just characters that really don't get used in anything but raids or raid exclusive characters. I've kind of dispersed them through maybe a couple of them around B tier, a couple in C tier, a couple in D tier, and then I moved Gila to F tier because who's using that one? I think I also maybe moved Kane to F tier. He's not there, so I'm also going to move him to F tier. But either way, first off, we have Blue Captain Meliodas, and boy oh boy, I've never seen a more disappointing unit. He works in the back slot, which is a definite positive on his end, but he's got terrible CC. All of his buffs are gray, which isn't necessarily a bad thing in this day and age, but they also didn't buff him as a character. I'm gonna move him to C tier, and I'm being kind of, I don't want to put him in D tier because that's like right above like ass cheeks, but I'm okay with C tier. He's not, you know, these aren't in any particular order. Like he's not better than all of these characters, I'll tell you that. But yeah, while I'm here, I'm also going to move Ragnarok Bond up to A tier because in no world is Death Pierce an A tier backliner, and Ragnarok Bond is not. So I'll actually move him down to B tier because Death Pierce has become less and less useful nowadays because characters have so much crit resistance and crit defense that you're not changing too much with him anymore. So either way, we have Red Brunhild, who is a very interesting character. She's actually super good. I really want to put her in like low S tier, and I think I'm okay with that because Sigurd is also in S tier. I say low S tier, but she's just going in S tier. Sigurd's in S tier, and I feel like they're not necessarily on the same level, but they work very well together, and I'm okay with her being in S tier. I don't think that she's like, whoa, like double S tier or anything like that. She's not like groundbreaking, but she's definitely very good. So yeah, I don't think that there was anything else that I needed to move around or anything over here just yet. I'm going to try to save that till the end either way. I don't know why I'm thinking about it. Freyr is also a very good character. I'm a little bit disappointed in his PvP performance, but overall I still think that he's an S tier character. Cleave card, very nice. You can use him in tons of different stuff. He's very good for obviously the dogs. You can use him in the bird and the deer, and he does, you know, flawlessly in those game modes. He's also very good for OG Demon, which is, you know, fantastic. I would assume you could probably use him in Hallex too if you wanted to, but at this point all of those original sort of like the original three demons are super easy to do, so you don't really need him. Oh well. Moving on, we have Red Summer Deanne. This is the Blessings of Earth Summer Deanne, the one that was kind of like a big skip for a lot of people, and I can completely understand. I have a lot of use out of this character. I've been using her quite a bit, and I actually think that she's very good. But obviously, she's only for original demon and Hallex, and like I said, Hallex is already super easy as it is. So I'm gonna put her in B tier. She's not necessary by any means, but she definitely, if you can find other people who have Summer Deanne, it speeds the rate up tremendously. I really do like it. I think that she's a good character, but she's just very, you know, exclusive to that one game mode. She can't even get use out of her Holy Relic because it's PvP only. I don't know, kind of unfortunate there, but it is what it is. Festarossa, new festival assault mode berserk Festarossa, whatever you want to call him. I really like him. I love him, actually. I'm willing to put him up here with the greats, the SS tiers. Obviously, the team is what makes the character for sure. Like, him on his own, like, can do great, or can do good. But, you know, it depends on what team you're running him with, of course. And that being said, I'm gonna keep him up here. I'm probably gonna move assault mode down one tier. Next we have Nebula Zeldris, who was probably the biggest letdown of the year so far, which is very unfortunate. I think I'm gonna put him in. I want to pay him a little bit of respect and give him A tier, because he's not like absolutely like trash. He's a good backliner. His infect card is fine. It gets the job done. The pulverized card is a little lackluster. I'm gonna go B tier, honestly. I'm not a big fan of the character. I don't know, man. I don't know what you want me to do. And maybe if he gets a good holy relic, we'll push him up to A, or if it's really good, maybe even S. But for now, I gotta go B tier with him. He has been a huge letdown. I mean, and I'm not saying that because of like high expectations or anything. Like, yeah, Nebula Zeldris should have been a good character, but even just like from regular character standards, he's just really not that great. So, yeah. Either way. Next up we have the new Thonar. She literally just dropped on global, so I can't really, you know, say that I've used her too much. I want to put her in the same tier with Jormungand and Magelda, because I think she belongs there, and if they're A tier, making, you know, the dogs easier is definitely a big feat. So I think keeping her in A is also very, very good, because she's going to be a staple for that team. So that makes the most sense to me. You might be able to fight me on that one. I'm definitely willing to consider pushing her down to B tier, because I don't think she's as good as these characters, but then again, Magelda definitely wasn't here to begin with. I would say that her holy relic definitely pushed her up here. So maybe we just put her in B tier for now, and then hopefully she'll get either some new support to make the team better, or a holy relic that'll make her better in general. Not positive on that one. But those are all the new characters. I guess let's go through really quickly and try to push some characters around. I think at this point I'm willing to push, you know, assault mode down to S tier, because we've already pushed down Lostvane, I think, to A tier at this point. And, you know, Melee's getting a little old. He's not even like super great for the assault mode melee team, like, or the assault mode Festarossa team. Like, I think he's really good, but it's just because there's not a whole lot of like good demons out anymore, or just right now. Hopefully he'll sort of get phased out in the future, because I think that he's fine on the team. Like, he's a good backup to like the main damage dealer if they kill Festarossa, but overall he's just gotten more and more lackluster, I think. I think I'm also going to push down Green Gother, because rank ups have slowly been sort of kind of like pushed out of the meta. As good as rank up is, I feel like a lot of people have just moved on and found better support for their characters and their teams, where you don't really need to use rank up as much anymore. And so I'm going to push him down to S tier. He is getting kind of old. He's been out for like 2 years at this point, I think, because he was a Halloween unit for year 2, maybe. I can't remember exactly, but he's been out for a while. I mean, he's not bad or anything like that. I'm just saying he might not be, you know, this level of good. That being said, I don't know if any of these other characters need to be moved down or not at the moment. I think they're fine. Honestly, I kind of want to push Margaret down one, because on her own, like, Margaret really just doesn't hold her own anymore. If you have her 6/6, she obviously does very well, but then again, you have to like ult rush and everything like that. Her buff is great, fantastic. Her attack card is pretty mid, to be honest. She's a good support unit for the Angel team, but I'd say on her own, she's not double S anymore, I don't think. So I'm gonna push her down. I think I'm okay with the rest of these characters for now. Any of these characters, I think we're gonna push down the green Festarossa. I don't think he really belongs in S tier, to be honest, anymore, at least. I was tempted to put down Tarmiel as well, but Tarmiel as a unit on a team is actually still pretty good. And with Tarmiel, or the red Tarmiel being in double S tier, I'm okay with him still staying in S. I don't know. I kind of want to push Sariel down to A tier as well, but I don't think he's quite as outdated anymore. I'm definitely going to move original Ludociel down to A because his cards just absolutely suck at this point. Like, you're literally just using him for the passive, and even his ultimate is pretty lackluster nowadays. So I am completely okay with that. If we're moving... I think I'm actually going to go through here. I don't actually mind him. The attack seal almost is more useful sometimes than the dissolve is. So I'm okay with that. I think we move Goddess Liz down to A tier as well. And then I think we're good there, maybe. I'm tempted to move Kyo as well. And maybe Arthur. I don't know if they really deserve S tier. I think we'll keep them there for now. I don't think any of these characters need to be moved. Maybe we'll move Red Easton, Awakened Easton, down to B tier because she's very specifically only for like the Catastrophe team, basically, and that makes her pretty exclusive and kind of bad for most use. Don't think any of these other characters really need to be moved. I'm kind of tempted to move Iori down because he was phased out like within like 2 weeks of coming out, which is very unfortunate. But it is what it is. We'll keep him there for now. I think the rest of these are fine where they're at. I'm okay with these characters being here for the most part. I think we'll move Scotty up to A because Scotty now is a lot more useful than she used to be, at least, or like people have sort of taken note of how much better she is, or how good she actually is. And then the Holy Relic that they gave her is actually pretty good as well. Don't have that yet, but I do see, I noticed that it's actually good. So we're gonna push her up one because she has definitely become more and more useful. The rest of these characters I think are fine where they're at, to be honest. Anything specific? I'm gonna push this blue Elaine up to A because I have the Holy Relic for her now. I don't know if I did during the last tier list or not, but I have the Holy Relic for her, and she makes running fairies so much fun. She has like the buff card seal. She puts the shock debuff on whenever fairies attack, and it increases damage dealt and stuff. She can actually be really good. I'm going to keep her at A for now. Obviously, she could end up getting phased out kind of quickly, or even just power crept and made worse, so we might end up pushing her back down to B in the near future. But for now, I'm having a lot of fun with her. I'm going to keep her at A. And I think the rest of these are pretty fine where they're at. I think maybe we move Easton down to C tier because she's really not that great nowadays either. I kind of want to move King up because he's become like a fun backliner for me to use. I'm okay with that. The rest of these are okay, I think. Nothing too crazy here that needs to be moved around as far as I'm concerned. Which, if you see characters wherever they are and I don't end up moving them or whatever, if you have any, feedback on that, definitely let me know. If you think some characters are more useful than I'm giving them credit for, I completely understand. I don't use every character in the roster by any means. So, there's that. Hopefully some of them will get buffed with Holy Relics and etc. So, I think we are good. I don't think there's any other characters that I really want to move. I think I'll maybe move this green Bon up to D tier because I actually did kind of start to get use out of him in Underground Labyrinth, which makes him at least not terrible. So that's great. So I think that's where I'm going to keep it. Not too much to update. Obviously, they only add, characters every 2 weeks or so, and depending on what they add, like what kind of, banner it is, it might not be too many characters, it might just be one. So there's not always the most stuff to update, but either way, that's where I'm gonna leave it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, if there's any of these characters you think need to be moved around a little bit more, definitely give me some feedback. Let me know. I'll try to figure out why I had them where they are and if I'm willing to move them and such. So yeah, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys in the next one.